Listen, dude, I'm done with it.
Dude, you've been done.
I'm still here.
For what? See. Why? Because you just want to be a asshole.
You're right.
Then why the would you be in this competition?
I'm here.
Bone face.
Why do you look 50 and you're 24?
What? What did you say? Go yourself.
Would you rather have the brand new PS5 or a weekend with these three lovely ladies and you can do anything you want with them?
Wait, anything with them?
Like anything.
A whole weekend?
A whole weekend.
Damn, but the PS5 though, like it just.
I know.
Ah, damn, y'all beautiful though, but.
Hold on, what'd you say?
PS5 or us?
Oh,
bro, y'all beautiful, but I had a PlayStation 4 for 4 years, but I need a PS5.
God.
My nigga.
That all up in me at one time. Don't try to make me take all that dick at one time.
Slow and easy.
He said, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not rush all this dick up in you at one time. I'm going to take it easy on you. She said, okay, I think I can take it. So you laid down. The nigga rushed all that dick up in her.
Jammed it into there.
Jammed and round.
Like Jam City.
All kind of dick up in that girl at one time.
Dang.
And took her breath some more.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
Thanks for all your help. Bye-bye, Tanja. Bye-bye.
I want to do it the right way and learn some of the unwritten rules.
That's why I was talking about the seminar, so that we can get players to come down there and bring their grievance, their problem, how to catch a hooker, what you do to be a boss player, what do I say to my wife when I decided that I wanted to be a true player and walk out on the family. We need a seminar so we can teach these guys to give them the right understanding so they'll know, man.
In church every day. I feel like I was in church every day. I said I'd rather go to hell if I got to go to church every day. You know, I was in church every day. And I figured if I was going to be there as much as I was, that I might as well do something I enjoy. And at that time, I used to love to sing. And so I ended up joining the youth choir. And while I was singing for Jesus, my choir member introduced me to prostitution. I heard the famous saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I heard, what man would want to marry you? You done did videos and this stuff is out for the rest of your life. And you don't think about what happens if I end up being a wife, if I end up being a mom. You don't think about that in that moment, in that, that fast life. This is a male-dominated industry. It's more male preachers and pastors than female. And so I still have a level of anxiety. Some people will ask me to come because of my anointing, and some people will ask me to come because of their fetish.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
A man is not gonna do when he is not feeling appreciated, he ain't gonna complain about it. He ain't gonna make no speech, ain't gonna be no announcements. He just gonna adjust. Here are 6 things a man will slowly stop doing when he knows that he is not being valued. Number 1, he gonna stop going the extra mile. When a man knows that he goes above and beyond for his wife, his family, or his woman, and he ain't being appreciated, it's pointless. Number 2, he will stop sharing what's on his mind. When he knows that his ideas, what he says are diminished or minimized, he just gonna stop talking. Number 3, he will stop being emotionally available. When you know that your energy of you opening up is not welcomed, then you just gonna stop. Number 4, he will stop trying to impress you. The dates will get simpler. The surprises will fade. It literally will go from passion about you to obligation. Number 5, they will stop initiating connection. They get tired of being rejected and they will take their energy someplace else. Number 6, they will stop feeling peace at home. And when a man loses that peace, everything suffers quietly. One thing I know about a man, he is not going to pull away suddenly. It's going to happen over time. And when it does, that's when he will start to hear that he has changed, which is not true. The truth is, men do not change. They just adapt to how they're being treated. Appreciation fuels men, respect keeps them grounded, and peace keeps them present. Always remember that.
Trump and his bitch-ass administration, I have to drop out of school. Yep, you heard me correctly. I have to drop out of school. And if you're wondering why, the reason is y'all president decided to not only take my degree, but take pretty much most degrees that women and people of color, the degrees that we mainly get, he's now deeming them as non-professional degrees. Which at first I was like, who gives a shit? Fuck him and his opinion. No, this shit way deeper than his opinion. Because what happened is he cut funding for these non-professional degrees. And mind you, I'm in a whole ass doctoral program. But since, you know, y'all president just got bored and he couldn't find shit else to do, said, why work on world hunger? Why work on equal rights? I'm gonna make shit even more uneven than what the fuck it's already been. I'm gonna take all the degrees women and black people get, and I'm gonna make them non-professional. And like I was saying, he cut the funding. So here's how it goes. You only get a limited amount of funding for a non-professional degree program, which is not a lot. So yeah, now I gotta drop out of school. I am not happy about this at all, but I don't have a choice. So yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
My concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I studied the sociology of environmental communication.
Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I studied care politics with a minor in disability studies.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
My name is Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
Hi, my name is Sophie Lopez, and my concentration is titled Queering and Decolonizing Theater Practice. Hi, my name is Maya, and my concentration is journalism, post-colonial studies, and psychoanalysis.
Hi, I'm Eloise. I'm graduating with a concentration in philosophy of science and theater.
My name is Amina, and my concentration is titled The Criminal Mind, which is surrounded on criminology and applied psychology.
Hi, my name is Juliana. My concentration is international business and fashion through sustainable development. Yay!
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Brother! Yeah, nah, y'all smell like unemployment and food stamps.
No! Wait, y'all trying to say food stamps because we black?
Nah, we just have extremely high standards that we know y'all can't meet.
Why y'all judging a book by its cover?
Are you guys gonna cook hot breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and work a full-time job, and take care of my kids?
While I sit at home and do nothing, and play video games, and beat my meat 4 times a day?
You gonna buy me clothes? Can't you see I'm a fashion nigga?
Is you broke gonna change Junior diaper?
My last bitch bought me a Rollie. I see y'all hoes in here wearing costume jewelry. I ain't bathed myself in a whole year.
Wait, what?
No, this is the hoes baby. I don't have to do that. Most importantly, we need the balls drained. I'm talking about
And you know they call me 10. I need that head at least 10 times a day, bitch, if you think we gonna keep this peace.
Y'all asking for too much. Who do y'all think we are?
Y'all think this is 1950s? Since when men have high standards like this? Y'all need to have a 900 credit score, nice lips, slim waist, bubble butt, toned abs, you feel me? Eyebrows, natural eyelashes, and beautiful eyes. You know what I'm saying? Long hair, too. Yeah.
Pocket. Yes, get the balls.
So what y'all gonna do for us though, if we do all that?
Nothing!
Hey, we still gonna cheat on y'all ass after y'all did all that. You feel me? And we gonna complain that y'all not home enough.
Y'all hella sassy. Hell no.
What's up, y'all? It's Cali West, and I do thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. Now, I must say, I was actually going to take the night off, but, Monk Dan, he decided to bring Shane back, and, he mentioned in my comment section that I did not, I mentioned that I was going to go over a video about Charleston White speaking on interracial relationships. And I did not, go through it with it like I said I was. To be honest with you, sometimes it's because I have so much show ideas, sometimes I tend to forget, right? So what I decided was I will discuss it tonight. And we're going to watch the whole video because this is about 8 minutes long. It's not a short video. So, yeah. So, with that being said, I don't mind, showing it and all. As a matter of fact, here we go. Yeah, so we should discuss it because he has a good point, versus, what, Dr. Umar usually always want to say, right? Black queens forever, Snowbunnies never, although he never married neither of his baby mamas. Mind you, his baby mamas got him on child support. But anyway, without further ado, let's discuss this Charleston White interview.
I'm going to say that God has no respect of color. So that superseded everything. So fuck on, nigga, go get you a white woman.
Is your baby mama white?
Mexican.
Mexican?
Yeah, Mexican.
But you said that you married her.
Yeah, I was married. I didn't want to have no bastard babies. I plan my children.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's something that's not done anymore. It's very rare.
I plan my children. My children wasn't born in impoverished condition. And they were born to a village. So they got grandmother and grandfather on both sides. So they get 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, the black side, the Mexican side. So both sides had to learn how to love the other. Because my grandmother didn't really like Mexican. Their side didn't really like blacks. This is what brought love and peace into the world, mixed kids. God can't use white people. God can't use black people. They have become too hateful in heart of hearts. It's the mulatto mixed kid that seems to be more peaceful because they don't have a place yet in the world.
Mm.
Everybody else got gripes and complaints except mixed children.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else got an ethnocentric ideology in history that they try to hold on to hate behind, except mixed people.
They got both sides.
They don't.
Yo, Charleston White, I have to agree with him, yo. I mean, sometimes you do tend to find mixed kids tend to be extreme. Sometimes, sometimes they might, try to identify, fully with the white side. And sometimes there's the black side that, may want to fully then there's the ones who want to fully identify with the black side. It really all depends. You feel me on but in perspective, that is actually true to a degree. Even a black or a mixed person who more associates with black people, they tend to still kind of get along better or even, cool with other people. They tend to be a little more versatile. Now, this is kind of opposite to what Dr. Umar says. We should just stick to, black queens and this, that, and the other. But, one thing about black men, technically even black women, if you have, especially with a black man, if you have a child with an interracial with someone else outside your race, the person is still going to be black either way. So, but I mean, it all depends on how, it's really perspective. But, essentially, Charleston White is like, hey, do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want to make, want to make peace of the world, hey, why don't we just go ahead and have mixed babies? And, I feel that, a black man should have the right to, to go ahead and have the kids, out of other races or not. With that being said, I do got to go and show some love to my boy XL Pro TLR. He says, like, share, and subscribe. Cash App, $, Cali West 1. And you can also follow me on x.com / Cali West Miami. I might start doing a show there on Thursday. I'm going to let y'all know. But I might do a show exclusively for X, because X is a little more lax when it comes to, the filming and copyrights and stuff like that. I could probably show y'all some of these little free codes and shit like that on there and not get in trouble. So, peep out, peep out for that. You feel me? Now, Extra Process, we back live after pill after dark. Yes, sir. You already know, boy.
My nigga.
Yeah, man. Your boy had to, change his brakes and stuff. I had work today. Not too much, but I did have to work a little bit today. And when I came back to the crib, I ended up falling asleep. So I woke up and had to do my brakes at night. But I didn't want to do my brakes tomorrow. I had to get that shit done. So, yeah, that's actually why we have such a late night show tonight. You dig? But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's get back to this Charleston White interview.
No hate. They've been rejected by both sides.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have neither side. They have their own. So I teach my children that they're not black nor Mexican. They're biracial.
And you
so don't claim neither, because both of them go mistreat you. If you're mixed, you think your black side go love you because you mixed? Your skin is a little bit, no. You think your Mexican guy go treat you and you got black in you? You think you're white? No. You both of your natural sides, so you're not them. So that's why you typically see mixed people bond with one another.
Mm. Do you bring your kids, well, when they were younger, did you bring them around other kids and,
No, I wouldn't take them around black kids.
So you didn't take them to the youth organizations that you went to?
My daughter was in horseback riding, dance. My son played football, but I wouldn't take them around black children. I didn't want my children to learn how to fight.
Mm.
I didn't want my children to have to know violence. And I used to tell my home, but man, why you teaching your son to fight? Man, nigga, the world my kids grow in, they ain't gonna have to know how to fight. They're gonna have to learn to self-defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Why you want to teach your son at 2 to be doing this already? He's gonna mimic that behavior when he go around other kids at daycare. So no, nigga, I want my son to learn how to read. Nigga, I ain't the first thing I'm teaching my baby boys how to throw up punches and fists. That's the cycle of violence.
Right.
There's some children who grew up in a world and never have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because fighting isn't required in this world.
Mm-hmm. Well, because people don't know that you can actually fight with words,
Well, they don't know you don't have to fight at all.
Right.
Conflict.
Yo. Yo.
My nigga.
And look, Charleston White, I might not say I agree with everything that he says, but yo, he ain't messing on this conversation. He mentioned, hey, look, Charleston White, he comes off, a lot of people don't realize too that Charleston White is actually playing a character. He's very intelligent. And he said something that was very prolific. He said, because homegirl, she's kind of understanding, but he had to break it down to her all the way. No, you didn't even have to fight with someone even verbally. You didn't even have to fight with someone at all. Straight up and down. Like, here's the thing, sometimes I bump into knuckleheads. And it don't always just be knucklehead ass niggas. Sometimes it be knucklehead ass white people. Sometimes white people who, prejudice don't want you around anyway, they might, I'm not trying to talk victimhood, but sometimes people tend to handle you differently, maybe if I was, I don't know, maybe if I was light-skinned black man or tall black man, I don't know. But, the other day, somebody was acting kind of a little funny. But guess what? Look, at this point, I'm like, I'm young and black. They're old and white. Yo, either way, it's still a win-win to me. You feel me? And it was like, why even sit down here and even argue and, even give anyone attention? Because truth is, that's what they really want is attention. So sometimes you don't even have to even put in energy or anything into that. Conflict resolution, facts. Now, 17L says words of a true, what is it? Of a true WS? Let's see, words of a true, what's WS? I don't know what WS is. Charleston got the right last name. Oh, okay. Elaborate on that a little bit. Because, let's just be real. Just because you might be from the hood and, you might have to know how to fight and stuff like that. Because I can honestly say that, I felt that, I had to fight because of, where I grew up or, where I was, used to be and stuff like that. But just thinking about how, I'm saying, like, I had to kind of look at my parents kind of like, y'all fucked up. Like, what was the point of y'all going to buying a house in LA, right? Going to buying a house in LA and, doing all this, right? Just to still have me going to school with the same type of niggas that you didn't want to be me to be like. I just thought that was actually really, really retarded on my parents' part. And just think about it, on your parents' part too. The fact that you had to know how to fight. Here's the thing. I do believe that, here's the thing. Now, of course, I do believe that even if you went to white school, you eventually have to learn to, kind of defend yourself. But there's a different progression of, learning how to defend yourself versus, oh, you had to just, all my life I had to fight. So I totally understand where he's coming from with that. 17 else says that Charleston thinks that white people don't fight or act a fool in white schools. He never been to a white school. Well, here's the thing. You got to understand too, 17th and L. Charleston White is speaking in generalization. Like, for example, when people say they want to, when he says go marry a white woman or go marry a Mexican woman, he's not telling you to go marry an ain't shit white person who live in a trailer park. He's not telling you to go marry a Mexican who just came straight off the border. No. He's talking about the respectable types that we could look up and admire. So, we can make this, a color issue and, and make it seem like he's just down in black people. But if we're going to sit down here and act like, because here's the thing, I don't think he ever said that. And matter of fact, he didn't even say that white people don't fight. He matter of fact, he actually touched on, I don't know when you came on to this show, but he actually touched on the fact that white people and black people equally have too much hate in their hearts. And basically, that's why they should have mixed kids. And yes, and here's another too. Charleston White didn't go send them to the trailer park schools and, and trust me, Charleston White's kids go to private schools. Best believe that, bruh.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, Charleston White's kids don't go to the schools where there's knucklehead white boys. He goes to private schools where there's, when there's accountability and, and shit like that. Dwayne Rose says CW went to an all suburban school. Facts. Hey, but Pete, this Charleston White never even declined or even said that he didn't, which is crazy. He actually mentioned that. He just said he actually attributes his delinquency to the fact that he didn't have a father. If you hear some of his interviews, but essentially he was like, his mom was a hard worker. His mom was in a ghetto welfare recipient. As a matter of fact, I'll play that clip a little later, but if I can find it. But Charleston White said that he didn't come from poverty. He never came from poverty. Now, 17th and 0 says white kids do so much outcast, too much outcast other white kids, other to the point that they kept the whole school up. Good point. 17 and 0 says they fight and terminate each other in good suburban schools as well. Look, you're gonna have to have some type of tough skin, and I get that. And look, and here's another too. If you was to go to a certain white school, I'm not saying that there's not dangerous white schools, because it's true. Look, as a matter of fact, 17th and 0, you're almost literally having the same debate with me that I had with Donovan Sharp. I agree with all your points. All your points is stuff that I brought up. But let's just be real, though. Can we be real? Are there many black schools that we could go prestigious black? I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't any prestigious black schools, but are there many black prestigious schools that Charleston White could send his kids to where there won't be any violence? Put that into perspective, you feel me? And here's another thing, too. It's not as if he said black people ain't shit. He just mentioning an obvious fact. I mean, not obvious fact, but, something that happens all over. And like I said, Charleston White's not just sending them to any old white school. He's sending them to a good suburban school. And I don't know. Here's another thing. I don't know. I don't see too many gang shootings and stuff at private schools. I mean, we had that, like I said, I'm not saying it doesn't happen from time to time, but look, we all talk about minimization, bro. Let's just be real, bro. We know damn well a suburban school is not going to be as much torment as they're doing. And here's another too. 17 to 0. Black people could be very tormenting as well. Yo. Black people will say something to one another, and they might not shoot up the school, but guess what? They might shoot up the person's block who says some shit to hurt them. So let's not be, I don't know, tit for tat with this. But let's see here. Dwayne Rose says his early years he was homeschooled because he lost an eye, then went to a suburban school. 17 says in this world you have to be tough, period. And then let's see, Dwayne Rose says homeschool is a way to go. That takes a lot of infrastructure and support. Facts.
Resolution. And then tell somebody. See, we remove all the age and the help from our kids. You can't snitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what else they got? And they don't know conflict resolution. Somebody hit you, hit them back. Well, let's try to talk before you hit me. Man, I ain't done nothing to you. What's the problem? Can you explain? So we don't know how to communicate. What you looking at?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was just daydreaming. I ain't looking at nothing. What's you looking at? So that's the response you would get. You step on somebody's shoe, he got the right to be mad. Oh man, my bad, homie. Dust his shoe out. You don't look mad with him and reflect the energy. He got a right to that. But we don't teach that.
Because people don't know how to, what is it called? To be liked, to be disliked. They don't know how to be not liked. And it's okay not to be liked.
How can you tell a teenager that?
Well,
Our whole
exactly.
existence is based on us being liked by our peers.
Right. And that's when that happens. Listen, maybe because I've learned that when I was a kid. I left Russia when I was 14, so I went on my own to Australia. Missed my first flight, didn't speak a word of English. Somehow had to figure it out so I can go to my host family. And I remember I was like, well, shit, things are gonna happen. I can give up and cry and lose it all, or I can just sit here and figure it out, And it's okay if people don't like me. And people would not like me because I'm Russian. People don't like me because I look white. People don't like me because I'm around black people. Like, it's so many things that people do, but I'm okay with it. And I'm okay having conversations with people who don't like what I got to say. I'm cool with it. Because
I don't want to talk to now motherfucker don't like what I got to say because I'm wasting my time. I want to be effective. So I don't want to talk to people that don't believe what I say. So if I'm in a relationship with a woman and she don't believe what I say, I quit talking and I leave her. Cause why would I be with somebody that don't believe what I say?
Right. That's very true, because I think sometimes it can hit people later on, but again, they have to do reflection, which not many people do. Now, let's wrap it up. And I want to ask you, so what's the solution? I know we've stated a lot of problems. We've stated a lot of...
I love this question. Oh, I love it.
What's the solution? How do we solve this? And how do we make this world better or the community better?
The late, great Michael Jackson gave us a solution in the name of a song. The Man in the Mirror. If you want to fix the world's problems, you want to fix black people's problems, you want to help the community and fix society, start in the mirror. Don't look nowhere else but in the mirror. Because why would you want to fix the world problem and you got a problem?
Yo, facts. All the way. You know, it kind of goes back to the community, whole saving the community and black people saving the community. And Dr. Umar wanted you to go and marry a black queen. That way your money could go to the black family instead of go to the white people and stuff like that. Each one teach one. Why don't we start from the from ground zero? Dr. Umar, he only wants to wait till black celebrities and movie stars and stuff, you know, get their money up, and then he wants to worry about them. He's not talking about the woman on the surface level. He's not talking about, you know, the black woman who decide that they're gonna want to go and, you know, saying mess with their boss or stuff like that. He ain't talking about the black woman who, you know, are dating white men because they think they're gonna get a relationship out of them. He's not talking about Serena Venus Williams. As a matter of fact, like I told y'all, he and I haven't found it whether it's true or not, but word on the street is he's not even mad at Venus and Serena. He believes that the fact that they had to deal with racist tennis that made them want white people, which I don't see where the correlation is, but okay. But yeah, each one teach one. If people want to fix the community, well, first off, the black community is nowhere to fix. Black people, the same ghettos that y'all live in, that y'all think is y'all hood, Italians and Jewish people used to live in those same ghettos as well. As a matter of fact, the word ghetto is actually what they used to call where poor or impoverished Jewish people used to live at. Do y'all know that? The word ghetto. The word ghetto is actually associated with that. Do y'all know about that? About the Hebrews in New York and all that? That's where the word actually started from or derived from. But guess what? They got their shit together and they moved out of these communities. And guess what? Black people moved to those communities and think that was a place to be fixed. No, it's a place to escape. Hence why I had that video last night, Escape the Plantation. The black community is not worth to be fixed. Look, you really want to make somewhere for black people? Guess what you do? You move out the 5th Ward. You move out of Nicholson Gardens. You move out of, the Pork and Breed Projects is no more, but, you move out, Brownsville and move out those areas. And then you go buy the block, buy a few blocks, okay? Make a gated community. And once you make that gated community, then have prestigious or higher middle-class black people move into that community if you want to make a real black community. But guess what? The ghetto is not a community. Coach Greg Adams said that. I said that. There's a bunch of people, even greater than me has said that, but I'm not the first person to say that. Y'all keep on trying to save this shit. There's nothing to save. 17L says middle school and high school is tough. Many kids of all races and financial brackets. Dwayne Rose says many of my mixed friends had long-term internal issues trying to fix into their family. Now that's changing with the generational thankfully. I believe that. Hell yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Because of the 21st century and because of social media and stuff, a lot of people are able to do certain things that they weren't able to do. Like, for example, black men are more able to kind of one beautiful thing about the 21st century is that black men are able to kind of go outside of their element. They don't have to be boxed into what is black or what is right. Like, for example, black people could be listen to rock and be and be into comic books in the open and stuff like that, not necessarily be a nerd and stuff like that. You know, maybe some people still call them nerds and stuff. I don't know, but because of the fact that other people could branch on, or branch off to other people with like minds, it helps people kind of individualize themselves to a degree, and I think that definitely helps with a lot of people. Now, something else that kids not getting left from home and positive reinforcement goes a long way. Facts. I totally agree with that. Yo, I will argue that most kids who were getting punked and bullied were kids who were probably A, didn't have a father in their home, or B, probably had a father who neglected them, or B, like for example, the girls who were a hoe, we know that they had daddy issues. We know that they were looking for male attention, just like the boys. Some of the boys who were kind of shy and stuff like that, that's because they didn't get that reinforcement. They didn't get that positive reinforcement. Because here's the thing: when you kind of know you have a mom and dad that love you at home, it almost helps you kind of be willing to try anything and not have to worry so much. Now, Sentinel says, I was attacked and tormented in my black hood schools in Holly Grove, my hood good school in Garden District, where the Saints kids used to go, and my middle school as well. Right. But let me ask a question, though. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Out of those three schools, which was the school that was probably the most dangerous? I mean, your answer might surprise me, but we would maybe have to say that black hoods. Look, the fact that you put black hood school, you didn't say the black good school, the black hood school. Because I went to a black good school in elementary. Like, when I say good, like there was no gang banging. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, there was only a small number of kids who were getting like bussed in. It was like a magnet school, and and it was in a nice black neighborhood, and I went to elementary school there. So, but the fact that you put hood behind it says a lot, bro. Right? You know what I'm saying? We got, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't say everything in the hood ain't good, but we know when things in the hood, it ain't generally good at all either, right?
Oh. Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing when I
you know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
When you come out the mirror, bag out. Don't turn around. Bag out and keep looking in the mirror. And before you say anything to a spouse or a child, go see if your bed is made this morning. Mm-hmm. Are there any dishes in the sink? So meaning, start in the mirror and then clean your house before you try to clean anybody else's house. Mm-hmm. Look in your eyes first before you try to plug mine. Right. So how can you fix the community? How can you fix black problem and you and your sister still got resentment toward each other? Mm-hmm. Go fix your family. Baby mama, baby daddy, y'all fix y'all. Stop worrying about white folk because you hate your baby daddy. You hate your baby mama. And you got another one over there, y'all hate each other. Forgive your daddy. So that's where it starts, all right there in your mirror, in your heart, in your house, before you even step on your porch to look out into the community. But how you go bypass your neighbor that you don't speak to every day? Hey, neighbor, how you doing? Shit, what's going on, neighbor? You don't even do that. Mm-hmm. So how can you expect me to believe you really want to fix the problems of the world and you got resentment in your heart toward people you know, but I don't know this?
Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. You feel me? You either A, could be nice and just say hello to your neighbor, or B, you could just move out the neighborhood and just have new neighbors. But shit, them neighbors might not want to talk to your ass either. Hey, one thing I heard recently, maybe about less than a year ago, and it was so prolific, and I never thought about this. This man said, you don't choose your neighbors choose you.
Emotional damage.
You get it? Because I mean, you could move somewhere and maybe see your neighbors and just say, you know, you can move. You know, you could if you're moving somewhere, you can always look in the neighborhood and say, you know, and see the neighbors like, I don't want to live here. But if you live somewhere and your neighbors move in, they chose you.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So stop worrying about the world and fix you. Fuck the world.
That is powerful.
Fuck the world.
That
You
is
can't
so
do nothing in the
powerful.
world. Fix you. And that'll fix the world. So I became the change I wanted to see. So I stopped getting online bashing people. I went to the community. I stopped traveling around the country, and I put my nonprofit Hype Youth Outreach in the heart of the ghetto, where I would lie and say I was from.
Mm-hmm.
Not from the ghetto. I grew up in the suburb, but I would lie and claim this. So I went back there. My mama said charity starts in the home. I stopped looking in the community and started looking in the home, how I was neglecting my children, trying to help other neglected children.
Mm.
I'm missing my daughter's gymnastic practice because I'm over here having backpack school supply giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm helping the community, but financially I'm struggling as a father. I felt stupid. So fuck the community. Fuck them kids that's being neglected. Let me look at me and fix me. Let me start charity with my kids. And that's when I got on the internet. And it became an outlet only for me to become a wise man to create money. But I was frustrated as a community activist because how I'm gonna lose my kids trying to help the world's kids. And Dr. King did it. Malcolm X did it. Julio Cesar Chavez, their children resented them because we had their fathers and they never got to know them before they got killed. So there's some children that resent us. I used to resent children because my mother would bring new kids and so I would resent them and my mama. But I ended up becoming mama, doing the same thing, helping kids from that resentment because I want to know their stories. I would hear some horrible stories of children who would come into my mother's home, and I couldn't imagine kids going through that. But I would think about my juvenile experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very powerful.
Yo, shout out to Monk Dan for pushing me to do this interview. It was I think this was a good interview. It's probably even longer than this. But y'all can check that out on their channel. I'm sure you can find this. So Charleston White was right. Hey, he was on point about just about everything to me. Yes, a lot of his points could be argued. Yes, you know, there are white schools where, you know, they're like, I will say that, you know, there's always trade-offs, okay? You know, there's always trade-offs, you know. Having mixed kids is not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily say that's the answer to a black man's problems. You feel me? Because like Dwayne Rose and just like 17th and O mentioned, you know, white people, you know, or the other side have, you know, well, you know, the other side or being mixed has its own set of issues in itself as well. You feel me? As cultural identity and things and such. We could go on and on and on. Skin tone and, you know, whole lot of isms. But I would say for the most part, just because it's white, you know, I can see where he has a point. But most importantly, what I think is kind of cool is the fact that Charleston White, he's not knocking any black man for having any children with black women. He's just saying what he did, you know. And he's expressing the fact that he said he used to be a community activist, and he said, fuck the community. He said, I'm going to fix my home first. And that was what's up, man. Now, y'all said there's a lot of comments, so I'm going to go through all of them. Dwayne Rose says, especially with cyber-building, facts. T-Griff 8729 says, what up? Finally got a day off. Salute to you, my G. 17-0 says, then I went to high school, which was like a junior prison. My freshman year, I went through from sophomore year until now. I turned heel and started dealing with fools with my hands and words. Oh, okay. You can deal with who and what you do want. these days, and people that are normal are the weirdos these days. Nah, it's all about perspective. Hoes ain't all had daddy issues. Many of them have the looks and given shit by ninjas and are lazy or just crave jug. And that is the truth. Like, sometimes you talk to these chicks and you end up finding out, like, well, here's the too. I guess when people say, they have daddy issues, like, for example, it's funny you mention that because my high school sweetheart, she was a hoe. And I didn't really know she was a hoe, but she was a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have enough experience to know. And I wouldn't say she was so much of a hoe when we was together per se, but there was a lot of hoe things. There was a lot of red flags that indicated that she was gonna be a hoe. It was like, like I used to always be at our house all the time, and I can honestly say, I rarely, ever seen her ever interact with her dad. And I dealt with her for maybe like 3 years at least when I was in high school. I think I dealt with her all the way to graduation ever since I was a freshman till I graduated from the high school. And I can honestly say that I used to go to her house so often. But her dad, when he used to come home, all he used to do is watch TV in the living room. Watch his sports or watching whatever TV he was watching. He'll have his little drink, smoking cigarettes or whatever, and just be chilling. And for the most part, I didn't see him much dealing at all with his daughter. And I'm not saying that he didn't deal with her to some degree, but for the most part, I didn't see much going on. I never seen him scold her or, praise her or anything. I just seen him just basically all he did was just watch TV. And it was ironic too because, like, she was a mixed chick. Her mom was black. The daddy was Japanese. But, I mean, he was like Japanese American. He was like, straight from Japan. But I totally kind of believe when I say daddy issues, it doesn't mean that your daddy was non-existent. Maybe your daddy just was a simp. Maybe your daddy was a simp. Maybe your mom was a hoe. Here's another two. Let's just be real. Maybe it's not daddy issues. Maybe your mama was a hoe. Like, what's so funny? I was dating this Haitian chick, right? We in Miami. And I was dealing with this Haitian chick, and I remember, like, she was a hoe. And what was crazy was, like, she cheated on, like, she went and got married and she came back in town and fucked me. Like, this bitch was all over the place. But long story short is, sometimes you just gotta let these people just talk sometime. I remember her telling me about how her mom would, like, wear these little sexy little workout clothes, and even though her dad didn't like it and stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, those like little red flags and little things that you don't think daughters notice subconsciously. Like, okay, I could play with a man. Like, this man could be paying all the bills and all that, and I could still be playing in his face. You don't think women take notes from their mother and stuff like that? So sometimes maybe the dad was, maybe as tough as he could be, or maybe, I guess if it was really tough, he would have left her, right? Let's just be real. If it was that tough, he would have left her. But, to some degree, maybe the dad did as best as he can, but maybe he's seen her mom say some hoe shit. Like, maybe the mom is a good woman around the dad. And when dad ain't around, the mom was a hoe around the daughter. We might have to have a show about that, about how hoes become hoes. I truly believe, and long story short, the reason why I brought up my ex is because I truly believe the reason why my ex, was a hoe or had hoe tendencies was because of the fact that she had full access. She had full access. Shit. Sometimes, shit. I mean, shit. I remember I used to fucking like sneak through the window. I used to smash her at night. Like, we never used to smash during the day when their parents was home and stuff. Like, we just chill and watch TV and stuff. But shit, on late nights and stuff like that, when the parents was going to sleep, you don't think we was doing it? Oh yeah, we was definitely doing it. So just access. The fact that I know that she had access, I know the fact that she didn't have a dad who really was caring about who the fuck she was dealing with, and a mom who, for the most part, let her do what she wanted. And of course, she was gonna go cheat on that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That, like, you know what I'm saying? That was just a recipe for, you know what I'm saying? That was just a recipe for just the cheating, bro.
Emotional damage.
Mm-hmm. Now, 17, no, you've read a lot, Margie. He said, I went to a hood school, then a good school where the Saints players, kids in hood school, or good middle school. I had to fight and got into it with kids at the school. I changed in high school and was about my business and all this, and checked all the respect, and would fight or even die for mine. They got picture quick, and life has never been the same. Well, I'll say one thing. I mean, well, here's the thing. I will argue that, you know, I do believe that kids should be able to be universal. But I don't necessarily think that you had to necessarily be a hood nigga to be street smart. I do believe that, you know, like, for example, I do believe if you have your kids in sports, I do believe if, you know, I do believe there's a lot of ways that your kids can learn how to defend themselves without necessarily have to beat people up at school. But I get you, my brother. I get you. And it says white ain't always right, and nobody can convince me otherwise. We as Black people, as a race, have our own set of problems, but so do everybody else. Okay. Now, sometimes these daddies give these broads too much and don't prepare them for dealing with men in the real world. I've seen it and known them. I can't get it. I can't get with no daddy's girl. Oh, man, look. All right. It's funny that you mentioned that, because you brought up some good points, 17th and 0. I want to put out another perspective, too, about daddy's little girl, too, is that sometimes the dad set a bar so high. Like, for example, there was a chick I dated in high school. The chick that I dated before my high school sweetheart. Her dad, you know, he was a businessman. You know, he was like a businessman. He used to play for the Atlanta Falcons. You feel me? So shit, he went to HBCU. You feel me? Shit, he didn't even have to be in a fraternity. He was, you know, shit. He played college ball and all that shit, and then, you know, I think he was at HBCU. You know, played for the Atlanta Falcons. But he didn't play for the Falcons like recently, obviously. It was like back in the, I guess in the 80s or whatever, right back in the day. But still, hey, he still made it to the NFL. How many people do you know who made it to the NFL? Now, with that being said, you know, the dad, you know, hey, the dad, look, hey, you know, dad, he was doing pretty good. You know, lived in Ladera Heights and stuff. If y'all know what Ladera Heights is, it's a really, really nice Black neighborhood. I mean, it's not like, it's pretty nice. It's what it is. It's a nice suburban Black neighborhood in LA. Long story short is, like, I just remember that dealing with a chick, she's always kind of like, my dad. You know, my dad, right? It was like always like my dad. And I'll say that, look, having a daddy's little girl or a dad or a strong father, and here's another too. You can have a strong father, and guess what? That doesn't mean that. Look, here's the thing. She had a strong father who, from what I knew, would have, you know what I'm saying, was, you know what I'm saying, he would even fucking check her physically if he had to. Strong father. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I must say, for the most part, her dad was actually pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, for what it was worth. But, you know what I'm saying, I don't think he was a sucker. He definitely wasn't a sucker. And, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, with that being said, one thing I definitely know for sure is that didn't stop her from still, like, giving up the pussy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Having a strong dad didn't stop her from still, like, you know, messing with this guy, messing with this other guy. So, man, at this point, yo, I don't even know. That's actually why most men, I think, they really fret when they end up finding out that they're having a daughter. Because, like, with a woman, this is like, I mean, shit. Even a boy child could disappoint you, but they say daughters are disappointments, man. They say because the daughter, she could go any way. You could teach her what's right, spend money on going to school and all these prestigious schools, and she could still end up with a hood nigga because that's what she's attracted to. Like, there's no, you almost can't win for losing with them sometimes. You just gotta just hope that whatever, you just gotta hope that at least if the mom is at least on board with what you're going, she might stay in line. Might stay in line. Unless your mom, but see, the thing is, a lot of people don't know is that their wives and the mother is telling them something else in their ear, but saying one thing when they're all around each other. Life smart, not street smart. I know that's right. I am good in the hood, the suburbs, and the corporate offices around Black people, white people. I am a Renaissance man that can go where I want and be able to thrive. You know, it's funny you say that you're a Renaissance man. You know, my ex-girlfriend, who was about, I would say 15 years younger than me, called me the Encino man one time.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna be dealing with no chick who's taking no fucking whole trips, bro.
He ain't lying.
She thought she was gonna be with me and go to Las Vegas.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You gotta live in reality and know nothing in the world is ideal. In fact, look, yo. There's no right or wrong answers. It's all trade-offs. Dr. Umar telling us, dealing with Black women is, dealing with a Black woman is better for the community. I don't know how. I'm not telling you, my brothers to go necessarily go date with a white woman. All I'm saying is that if you find a white woman and she's good for you, and you think she's not gonna fuck you over, why not be with her? But just because you with a Black woman doesn't mean that she's not gonna fuck you over. Black women be fucking over Black men all the time. All the time. When I say all the time, I'm not saying every Black woman. When I say all the time, more often to the point that it almost gets tiresome to even keep talking about it. So, fellas, you should do whatever you want to go do. You feel me? You dig? He said, 17-0 said that's hilarious. Ha ha ha. For real, man. But it's true. Hey, you know what makes it funny is the fact that it's true. That's what really makes it funny. Yeah, man. And it's like, you can't be worried about what other people think, So, you gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta have your own philosophy.
And I don't need to make an excuse for it. She's awesome.
No, that's fine. We ain't hating on it.
I've known him and his wife. My wife is white, and I don't need to make an excuse for it. She's awesome.
No, that's fine. We ain't hating on it.
I've known him and his wife for a long time. But I was going to say, I'm saying. If
no one was surprised either.
Damn, that was just hilarious.
The first time I met you, I'm like, this thing either gay or white. Get out of here.
Get out of here. You know what? I ain't gonna die lonely. So, Damn!
Why you look at
This is hateful.
No, you directed at me.
Gotcha.
Flamed her ass. Let's play that one more time.
My wife is white, and I don't need to make an excuse for it. She's awesome.
No, that's fine. We ain't hating on it.
I've known him and his wife for a long time. But I was going to say, I'm saying. If
no one was surprised either.
Damn, that was just hilarious.
The first time I met you, I'm like, this thing either gay or white. Get out of here.
You know what? I ain't gonna die lonely.
Damn! Why you look at
This is hateful.
No, you directed at me.
Gotcha.
Man, y'all been too good to me. Yo, once again, it is Cali West, and I do thank you for tuning in to another episode Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. I will see y'all tomorrow night. Peace.